everyone, how are you all? I can understand that due to COVID-19 pandemic threat, all you people are sitting at home, and today is my this lecture. You're watching me through your devices. The whole world is facing the COVID-19 pandemic threat. Many of them are affected by this. Some of them have died, some of them have recovered, and some of them are on the process. And this problem mainly affected to the student community. This is the biggest step that what you people are taking in your life. That from 10th standard you are moving to the pre-university course. Now it is the biggest challenge where to take an admission and how to continue the education. As this problem will be resolved, whether the medical people will invent a vaccine for COVID-19 as early as possible, all question mark in front of us. In spite of these problems, you people have taken admission, and I am happy to inform you that at this position, we don't want it to leave you. We wanted to work along with you. We don't know when college will reopen, online classes, so that it helps you to getting ready for the pre-university course. Especially this period, you can sit at home and you can listen, or you can go through the pre-recorded videos, and it maybe helps to you to recover or to just brush up the education was paused for a few months. Myself, Arun De Silva, I handle computer science subject for both first year PUC as well as second PUC. Whatever we are going to learn new thing, we should know what is there in that. So that is the reason before beginning the actual lesson, I just wanted to brief you what is there in computer science subject. So let me keep it in front of you, the syllabus of first year PUC computer science. According to the Pre-University Board of Karnataka, the syllabus is divided into 4 units. In Unit A, that is Fundamentals of Computers, we will learn how computer works, what and all different components are there in computer. That may be input device, that may be an output device, that may be a memory devices, and how data will be represented in the computer, and how we maintain the codes, what are the different softwares will be used in the computer field. All those things we will learn in this unit. The second unit, that is Unit B, problem solving methodology. Now, as you know, we face problems, and at the same time, we will find the solution for these problems to solve it. Similar way, in the computer field, we treat the task as a problem, and each task or a problem we solve it by writing the instructions. But for that, as like you want, you cannot write it. We have to follow the proper method, and that is what we are calling problem solving methodology. So in this unit, we will see the step by step procedure of problem solving, that we call it as algorithm. Then how the flow will be there by flow charts, how documentation part will be done, how you can write the program, how you can trace the errors, what and all different types of errors. These all those things you are going to learn in the unit B. The next unit, that is unit C, programming in C++. In day-to-day life, to communicate each other, we use languages. That may be a English, that may be a Hindi, Kannada, according to your regions. Now, how you will communicate with the computer? How computer will understand, and what that computer has to do. These all those things we prepare a program or a set of instructions, and then we'll feed to the computer, and according to that computer works. But to do that program or to communicate with the computer, you need a language. So in the computer field, there are many languages are there. One among of that, C++ language is there, and that language itself we are going to learn in this year, and that's about speaks in unit C. So we will learn it, and through C++ language we will learn how to write the program and how to execute it, how to generate the output. The next unit is elementary concepts of word processing, spreadsheets, and web designing. Students, you might be gone through in your schools the basic things in computers. Maybe some of them have not studied, some of them have studied. So that is MS Word, MS Excel, PowerPoint, HTML language, these are those things. So this is a simple, maybe what you learned, it is just a 5%. So I am not going to teach you 100% here, but I'm going to tell you, or I'm going to teach you through this unit 20 to 30% of word processing and Excel, that is spreadsheets, and also how to design a website. I'll give you the idea by creating small web pages. So this is what the computer science subjects of your first POC, and this is a briefly I told you what you're going to learn in the whole year. Now I just wanted to ask you the people, your house is built, or you are in the house that is built. Before building that house, maybe your parents or maybe your ancestors, they have gone through the first blueprint. Then according to that, they started that building house. First they kept it their ideas, and then we want these many bedrooms, these big hall should be there, this big kitchen should be there. So it should be, ground place, first floor, or just a ground floor, these many square feet, all those things they had a plan. So without plan, any project will not execute it. Correct, no? So that's the reason I just wanted to give you the syllabus I had given. At the same time, the execution part also to do, we should know the blueprint. That is what. See, after learning, after going through this course, at the end of the day, they will judge you how much you are understood. One. Second point, are you eligible to promote to the next level? Or are you eligible to go to the next level? That promotion is can be given or not, they have to decide. So that will be decided by taking exams. By taking exams. Now, exams, how it will be there? That also we should know before going through the course. So let me put it in front of you how computer science exam pattern will be there. First, let me keep it in front of you. The weightage to the content and the subject units. The question paper pattern is like this. The whole question paper is divided into 4 parts. Part A, Part B, Part C, and Part D. In Part A, 10 questions will be there, that each question carries 1 mark. In Part B, total 8 questions will be there, and each question carries 2 marks. In Part C, total 8 questions are there. For each question they have assigned 3 marks. And Part D contains 11 questions. Each question carries 5 marks. So altogether, in the question paper, 37 questions will be there. 37 questions will be there. So let me give you idea from each unit for how many marks the questions will be asked and how many questions will be asked. So I'll give you that detail also. So as I told with you, there are 4 units are there. Unit A, Unit B, Unit C, and Unit D. From Unit A, that is fundamentals of computers, 1 mark questions 2 will be asked, and 2 mark questions 3. 3 marks 3 questions will be asked. 5 mark 2 questions will be asked. So altogether 27 marks questions will be asked. So total questions how many are there? 10 questions will be asked from this unit. And this is VSA means very small answer. This is small answer, large answer, essay type questions. So 1 mark questions normally 1 sentence or 1 phrase also, 1 word also works out. Small answer means sometimes it is 2 points or 2 sentences. 3 points or 3 sentences. Essay according to the question you have to answer. Now I gave you about unit A, and at the same time unit B, that is problem solving methodology. From this unit, 1 mark 1 question, 2 mark 1 question, 3 mark 2 questions, 5 mark 2 questions. Altogether 19 marks questions will be asked. Got it? Similar way from unit C, that is program in C++. From this unit, 1 mark 5 questions will be asked, 2 mark 3 questions will be asked, and 3 mark 4 questions will be asked, 5 mark 5 questions will be asked. So altogether 48 marks questions will be asked from this unit. The unit D, concepts in Word, Excel, HTML. From this unit, 1 mark 2 questions, 2 mark 1 questions, and 3 mark they don't ask, and 5 mark 2 questions will be asked. Altogether 14 marks. So total 105 marks questions will be there in the question paper. And how much you have to answer from that? Let me keep it in front of you. Part A, you have to answer all 10 questions. It is a compulsory section. Okay? Part A, no options from this. So all 10 questions you have to answer. From part B, total 8 questions will be there, and you have to answer only 5. Got it? And part C also, you have 8 questions, and from that you have to answer only 5. Part D, total 11 questions will be there, and you have to answer only 7. So that means altogether 70 marks questions you have to answer. That is part A 10, part B 5 into 2 is 10, part C 5 into 3 is 15, part D 7 into 5 is 35. So altogether 70 marks questions you have to answer. So that means the final your question paper will be comes out of 105, you have to answer 70. Students, you may be getting now question mark in your mind. Right? Normally all the question paper will be there out of 100. But why this sir is telling 70? The way rather left out 30 marks goes. As you know, computer science, there is practical comes. Correct, no? So here, the pre-university board, what it says, this is practical oriented subject. So that is the reason 70 marks questions will be there from theory and 30 marks will be given for the practicals. So you have practicals in programming language, that is C++, and at the same time Excel. You have to do some Excel exercise and HTML. So from this, any 2 questions will be asked in the practical exam. You have to answer both. And out of 1, you have to execute in the computer. So altogether for that, you get 20 marks. Then you have to maintain the record book for the practical. For that, you will get 6 marks. And for Viva, you will get 4 marks. So together, 30 marks it becomes. So in the practical, you will get 30, and in the theory, you will get 70. So altogether, it is 100 marks. So all practical oriented papers comes out of 100. Both they consider theory as well as practical. So this is what blueprint of your examination. So this same pattern will remains for second PUC also. In second PUC also, question paper pattern will be there similar way, and there are also number of units 4 are there. Anyway, you are going to see in the next year. No need of bother about right now. Now, going to the next part. So before going to the next part, that means getting into the subject, I just wanted to ask you a question. Okay. Now, the computer science subject is there for a science student. The computer science subject is there for commerce student also. Now, in your mind, maybe question comes, why for commerce students computers science? Computer science, is it necessary? how it helps us in future? Maybe question comes in your mind. So let me answer you this question, how it helps you. See, commerce students today, you might be thinking this is the way, but tomorrow you have to depend on the computer itself. See, now, right now, you see the whole world, from small children to so big people, elders also, they are completely, depend on the technology. Today, many of them are doing work through the technology. They are conducting the meetings. They are discussing, and even education system also, making use of the technology and the conducting the classes. So every field today, the computers are there. So with this, I can tell you for the commerce people also, if you get inside tomorrow in any commerce field, computers are there. Now, if you're getting inside banking industry, if you're getting into the business, if you're getting inside any IT related or any, you have computers. Now maybe that time whatever your computer softwares, whatever you're using, all new things, not what you're studying now. That maybe everything is different. But still, if you have basic knowledge about the computer, how it works, what and all things are there in computer, how basic things I can fix it or troubleshoot it, these all the things if you know from right now, it really helps you in future. To tell you, few years back, all these bank employees put a condition that you have to do the computer course. Otherwise, you will not have job in our bank. Similar way, all industry people also imposed same condition to their employees. But today, they don't ask with the employees. They directly, do you have computer knowledge? They'll ask, right? So if we have the knowledge from the beginning, then you'll not have any problem. So those of you are really dreamed about to become an CA or a CS or CFO. So such kind of a position, if you wanted to go from the beginning, if you have there's a computer knowledge, you can achieve. Getting inside that subject, I just wanted to extract one quotation which was given in director message in your textbook. That quotation is, we cannot always build the future for our youth. We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. And this quotation was presented in the textbook that is none other than Dr. P.C. Jaffer, IAS officer. He was a director of pre-university board. This quotation he extracted from Franklin D. Roosevelt. Now this quote says, you see, yes, really, my dear students, we are not able to build your future. 100% we are not able to build your future, but we can prepare for you for your future. You have to build your future. See, tomorrow you have to get inside the society. We don't know where we'll reach. Nobody expected the COVID-19 will give this much problem, make us to sit idle at home itself. If we go out, we are scared whether we will be infected or not. Now, if you go anywhere, they will put in your hand sanitizer or they'll ask you to wear mask. But that is in 2020. in 2021, in 2022, in 2023. Who knows what will happen? When you really wanted to build your future, lots of challenges will be there. So this is what we are teaching you people, how you have to build your future. So let me begin with our computer science subject. So that's, let me take first unit, unit A, fundamentals of computer. In this unit, we have total 4 chapters. The chapter 1, overview of computer. The chapter 2, it speaks about input, output and memory units. The chapter 3, the data representation. The chapter 4, software concepts. Now, as I told you the blueprint, from each chapter, how that marks are distributed, that also I have specified for you. So from first chapter, 1 mark 1 question, 2 mark 1 question and 5 mark 1 question. So total 9 mark will be there. Second chapter, 1 mark 1, 2 mark 1, 3 mark 1. So altogether 6 mark questions. And data representation, 1 mark nothing will be there, 2 marks nothing will be there, 3 mark 1, 5 mark 1 questions will be there, total 8 marks questions will be asked from this chapter. And the software concept, 2 mark 1, 3 mark 1, so total 5, altogether 27 marks questions will be asked from this unit, which I told with the people. So just giving an idea. So in this unit, the first chapter just speaks about computer, what it is, and the history of the computer, how it took birth, how evolution is there, which we are going to see in this. Second chapter, yes, how you'll do input, how you'll do output, how you'll store, which we are in detail, I'll explain in that chapter itself. Third, how data will be represented in the computer, which I'll discuss with you. And the fourth, softwares, different softwares. Okay, these are little. This is if you have just if you are interested with the mobiles, no, this is nothing. So how your mobile works only I can teach you. The mobile is one type of computer. So let me get inside your first chapter from Unit A, that is fundamentals of computer. The chapter 1 is overview of computers. So what I'm going to see in this chapter, introduction I'll give you, the functional components of the computer, then evolution of computers, generation of computers, then classification of computers, then we'll see applications of computer. This much only I'm going to discuss with you. Let me give you small introduction. Okay. So let me ask with you, what is computer? What is computer? How many of them seen computer? Then what is the definition of computer? How you will define the computer according to you? You might be telling a different definition. Some people say computer is computing. Some people say computer is a device. Okay, so many people will say, but before telling that, I just wanted to tell you people, computers invented. Why? Computers were invented to be an aid to mankind of field, that is especially in the field of information technology, to maintain the information. Because today in this world, the biggest challenge is how you'll maintain the information, and at the same time how we'll do the calculation, because the challenge is calculation for us. Yeah, so to do this easier way, for that purpose we invented computers. Okay. And computers are changing your communication. Of course, see, computers only we are using now to do the communication. It's changed, right? Previously, what we used to do, we used to do in the class, the teacher used to come, he used to come with the attendance register, and he used to call, hey, who entered paper? I'm going to read out the attendance. Mr. Abhishek, Mr. Abhinandan, Rajesh, Ramesh, Umesh. They calls and they used to put, and then today's lesson they used to write on the board. But today, see, we used for the communication purpose, for the education purpose, for the transport purpose, for industry, for the government, for the medicine purpose, for the research work, for the law and social service, arts, music, movies, paintings, games. I mean, you know it. No need of telling. There may be some people are fond of games. Okay, I came to know there are many at this age who have been addicted to Free Fire, PUBG, and some G. If G stands for what you know very well. So, guys, computers are changing. Okay, changing, and computers becoming the bondage of reality. Now it became bondage. There are many. You are, I think, many of them are at home also. You are observed. Without mobile, people will not sleep today. Mobile has to be there near the pillow or under the pillow. Correct, no? It become bondage. ಮಗ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಬದುಕುವ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇದೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಬದುಕಲ್ಲ ಜನ. ಓಕೆ, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಮಾನವನಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಮಾನವ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. So this is what bondage. Now, what happened? The relation with the computers becomes more. But anyway, we should not, the technology should not destroy our existing bondage. But you create the bondage. But one another way, say people are, bonded with the computers. Okay, to draw the money also ATM, to do the billing also computers. Every field computers, correct, no? Yeah. So computer literates are well placed in the society, who are really masters in the computer. They are in good position. Example, many people I can give. Who is the founder of Apple? Microsoft. Who is the current CEO of Microsoft? What's his salary? Who is the CEO of Google? What's his salary? Who is the boss of Facebook? WhatsApp? How rich he is? And you just imagine, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು IT ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದವರಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಳ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. No? Correct, no? Yeah. So computer literates are well placed in the society. Okay, but this should be smart enough to do that first. How good you are playing PUBG and Free Fire, if you know how you can develop PUBG and Free Fire, if you acquire the knowledge, no, then you see, then you will be called job very immediately. This is what difference. This is what difference. Got it? Okay, so that is what I am trying to say, and let us see these all those things in detail. I just given you questions, I just given you ideas what it is. So let me keep it in front of you, the definition of the computer according to the our syllabus. Computer is an automatic electronic machine that can store, recall, and process data. It can perform tasks or complex calculation according to the set of instruction or a programs. Correct, no? So it is automatic electronic machine which is allowed to store, which can store the data. Tomorrow you can recall it. Tomorrow you can process that. Example, in your mobile, you are storing the data in a picture, in a video, WhatsApp data, Instagram, Facebook, PUBG, Free Fire. Right? Yeah, no? Okay, complex calculation. If I give you one small maths problem, no? And many of them, your marks went down in marks. Don't worry. In my marks also very less. But today you see, I've told with some of them during the admission time. Arey, don't worry. Marks never counts. Your knowledge counts. Marks never lifts you, but knowledge will lift you. But important is that, see, that complex calculation, correct, no? Computer will do very fast. So this is a basic definition. If you know, this is more than enough. So just keeping in front of you, this is a computer which is having monitor, speaker, keyboard, that central processing unit, speakers, mouse, microphone, printer, headphones. All together, this I can call it as a computer. I showed you picture. Many of them you already seen, but those of you are not seen. Now I think you are seen in this video. And if I tell you that if you are not seen means no, then if anybody tells me anybody not seen computer, if you say no, then it is shame. Let me conclude this session here. I'll be come back with more things, and I'll discuss more part about computers, block diagram, and evaluation in the next session. Till then, have a nice time. Stay home, stay safe, and be grateful to your parents. Because of them, you are here, you are there. May God bless you. Thank you very much.